Yo, so I'm here, Ivan, a year later, finally making the how to downshift video. Like the only reason why I'm really making this was because, well, I did say I was gonna make that video when I made the last video, which if y'all don't know, I made a how to drive stick shift video, which did okay. I mean, it was like probably like my first video. You know, I actually got good feedback from it, and people actually really wanted to know how to drive down, how to downshift. And I guess people were saying that I made the video pretty like descriptive, like I was able to teach them pretty well. And so that's what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as I can, because downshifting is kind of confusing, mainly because the part that confused me when I learned was that when you slow down, okay, it makes sense to downshift because you're slowing down, but you also need a downshift if you want to speed up, and that's the part that didn't make sense to me when I was learning. I'll try to keep it, simple, as simple as I can. I'm gonna be in the car for most of the time, just talking to you guys, like kind of explaining to you how to downshift before I really get to it and show y'all how to do it. So let's just get straight to it. All right, so before I talk to you about downshifting, you obviously need to know how to just shift regularly. You need to be comfortable with cruising, highway, freeway. I guess you should already know how to drive stick shift, and if you don't know, go watch my last video. Now, downshifting. Okay. Now, downshifting, okay. When you slow down, right, you can do two things. You can either put the car in neutral, and coast it, and then come to a stop, and then, go from there. Or what you're supposed to do is put it in a, leave it in a gear, but accordingly. So, let's say you're in 5th gear going 50, right? And you're braking, you're slowing down, you're going to want to downshift into 4th so you can be at the right gear at the right speed. And as you slow down even further, go down another and then another. Now, I would say this. I wouldn't put it into 1st gear because 1st gear is strictly to start off. I wouldn't put it into 1st gear when you downshift. The 2nd gear is okay, but I would not put it into 1st. Now, speeding up. That's the part that's kind of tricky, because you have to know how to rev match, as the words say, you're matching the revs, the revs as you're driving, right? Now, the RPMs is kind of what you want to look at when you downshift, when you want to speed up. So let's say you're merging onto the freeway, right? Let's say you're in 5th gear and you're going maybe, 45 miles per hour. You're going to want to speed up, because obviously if you're merging, you gotta, go with the traffic, Now, the thing is, if you were to floor it in 5th gear going like 40 miles per hour, you might speed up a little bit, but it's gonna take a while, And the reason being is because you're in too high of a gear. Now, I don't know much about the science, of all the, how it really, really works. All I know is that if you're in too high of a gear, if you're going too slow, you're not gonna speed up in time. You might even not speed up at all. So what you do is you go down a gear. So you push the clutch in, you go down to 4th, but before you let go off the clutch, you gotta blip the throttle, and that picks up the RPMs. Now I'll show y'all more later when I show you how to do it. That's the part that's tricky. But once you understand what rev matching really is and how it looks like, you'll be able to do it like a pro, and you'll be able to downshift whenever and wherever you want. Now, I guess that's really mainly everything I really have to say about downshifting. When you slow down, as you slow down, go down a gear. You don't have to rev match as you slow down. I don't, just because I'm slowing down, so I can also use the brakes as well. So there's really no need to rev match, but you definitely have to rev match if you want to speed up. So if you want to downshift to speed up, so if you're going like, let's say 40 miles per hour in 4th gear, and you want to go fast, like let's say someone's trying to race you or something, you would push in the clutch, blip the throttle, go down to 3rd, let go off the clutch as the revs go up, and then when you press on the throttle, when you gas it, you'll be able to accelerate way quicker. Now let's start. So like I said, I'm assuming you guys know how to drive stick shift already, so I'm not gonna show you guys, I'm not gonna like say everything I do. I'm gonna assume you guys know how to drive manual. All right, so downshifting. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it when you slow down and then speed up. So, I'm just driving casually, I shifted a second, I'm just gonna speed up right now. I'm just gonna drive casual, right? I'm gonna go up to 3rd right now, and then let me show you. So right now I'm going like probably like 30 on fourth. I mean, I'm not really gonna go anywhere. But look, I'm braking, I'm slowing down, I'll push in the clutch, I'll go to third, and just let go off the clutch slowly, you know, pretty smooth, you know, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Boom, slowing down, putting the brake, clutch in, go to second, let go off the clutch slowly. I'm gonna run the stop sign, so I'm just gonna keep it in a second. Yeah, that's the, I don't know if you heard that scrape, but I got some new rims, so it scrapes the fender. Alright, so I'm in second right now, about to speed up, go to third, just chilling, you know. Now, as you slow down, the way I see it is, if you go from 30 to second, 30 to 20, just go down a gear. I guess every 10 gears, like a rule of thumb, just go down or up a gear. So right now I'm in 20 miles per hour, slowing down, put it into second, just let go off the clutch slowly, boom, not bad, right? Complete stop, clutching my foot's in the clutch, about to go to first, and just go off first like normal. So I guess when you downshift slowing down, it really isn't that bad because you're going already kind of slow. So right now I'm in second, put it into third, about to go to a stop sign. So I'm slowing down with the brake, my foot's on the brake, clutch in, second, let go off the clutch slowly, boom, not that bad. As long as you let go off the clutch kind of slowly, you'll be fine. The car shouldn't jerk. Now I'm gonna try to go on the highway so I can go a little bit faster. Alright, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. I'm in fourth gear right now, going like 40. Now I'm gonna start slowing down a little bit, so I'm gonna brake a little bit. I realize I'm at like 30 miles per hour, boom, clutch in, third gear, let go off the clutch slowly. Don't have to rev match just because I'm slowing down, it's not big of a deal. Keep it in third right now, going like 30 miles per hour. If you saw my last video, you would know that every 10 miles per hour, you should shift the gear. That's kind of a rule of thumb. Now you don't have to do that, but that's the way I see it, and it helped me when I learned. Yeah, the car is really bouncy, so sorry if I'm like just going like, you know, like the camera's moving a lot. I'm keeping it in third for right now because there's a stop sign coming up. But right now, slowing down, gonna be a stop sign, so I'm gonna brake a little bit. I went down from 30 to 20, so clutch in, second gear, let go off the clutch kind of slow, boom. Not bad at all, no jerks, no nothing. Now I wouldn't downshift to first. Matter of fact, I would just brake a little bit, clutch in, put it into neutral, and that should be good. It's because you don't want to downshift to first. That's something I got taught when I was, when I was learning. Boom, about to go into first. I'll let homeboy go, let the truck go. Boom, now I'm going like normal, pushing to second, and then I'm just driving, chilling, casually, about to speed up. Third, it's really bouncy over here, so just bear with me. Fourth. Now, right now, I'm gonna take a hard brake and take a left. So since I braked and I slowed down way too much, instead of going from fourth to third, I went from fourth to second. And right now I'm in second right now. Just because I went from like really fast to really slow. And a lot of times what happens is if you're going too fast and you slow down a lot, like if you brake really hard, going from let's say fifth to fourth or fourth to third really isn't gonna do much because you just like slow down too much. And remember what I said, every 10 miles per hour it should be a gear dropped or added. So since I was going like 40 and I slowed down to like 20, instead of me going from fourth to third, I went from fourth to second. And that was, that was pretty smooth. If I would have went from fourth to third, it really wouldn't have done much of a difference just because I went from 40 miles per hour to 20. If you're going, let's say, fifth gear and you're 50 miles per hour and you want to drop from, let's say, you're going 50 miles per hour and you drop to 40, just go from fifth to fourth, just downshift, pushing the clutch, go to fourth, let go off the clutch slowly, you'll be fine. Now, if you're going, let's say, 60 miles per hour and you're in sixth gear and you brake and you're just braking going down to like 40 or 30, now come on, you shouldn't go from sixth to fifth. Instead, you should go from sixth to, let's say, fourth or third because you slow down that much. If that makes any sense at all, I'm trying. So let's say this, look, let's say this. You're going 50 miles per hour in fifth gear, right? You realize it's a red light. Now you could downshift every 10 miles you drop. So if you go from like, let's say 50 to 40, you can go from, fifth to fourth, and then from 40 to 30, you can go from fourth to third. Or what you can do is, instead of going just like that in order, you can just go from 50 miles per hour and use the brakes. And as you're braking and you drop down to, let's say, 20 or 30, you can just go from fifth to third or fifth to second, As long as you don't let go off that clutch as you're slowing down, you'll be fine. So I guess I'm gonna try to give you an example. So right now I'm in second gear. I'm gonna try to go up to third. Alright, that's third. I'm trying to go up to fourth right now. So let me show y'all. So I'm about to go up to fourth gear right now. And I'm gonna slow down to like 20 miles per hour. I'm in fourth gear. I'm gonna slow down hella. Now look, I'm slowing down all the way to like 20 miles per hour. Pushing the clutch from fourth up into second. Just because I slowed down so much from 40 to 20 miles per hour. So there was no need for me to go from fourth to three to second. Since I went from 40 miles per hour and I braked all the way to 20, I could have just waited till I went to like around 20 and then put the clutch in and put it into second. So look, I'm gonna try to give you a good example right now. So right now I'm in fourth gear, right? I'll put it up to fifth gear. It's kind of hard when I have one hand, but it's not a big deal. I'm in fifth gear right now. Now look, I'm in fifth gear and I'm going, let's say, I think I'm going like 40 or 50. I'm going like 45. I'm not going too crazy because I only have one hand right now. But look, I'm gonna keep it in fifth gear. I'm gonna keep it in fifth gear, but watch. I'm gonna slow down, get to red light, but I'm only gonna use the brake. I mean the brakes. I'm using the brakes only right now. Now I dropped to about 20 right now. I'm at like 20 miles per hour. I'm still in fifth gear though, right? But as soon as I drop all the way down to 20, I might as well put into second. So look, from fifth to second, let go off the clutch, boom, perfect. Just like that. Just like that. Now the reason why I didn't go from like fifth to fourth to third to second was because there really is no point. Because if I know I'm going to drop down to like 20 miles per hour or like to a complete stop, there's really no point in me taking the one by one method when you could have just skipped him. You know, I went from fifth to second just because I went from 50 miles per hour to 20. And when I was at 20, I was like, you know what? Now it's time to shift because the light turned green and I took a right. Now, if you know the light's red, you could, you know, just slowly just go from a gear to down a gear to down a gear as you slow down, like every 10 miles per hour. Or if you kind of wanted to, you could just put it into neutral and use the brakes. I wouldn't really recommend that though. If anything, just keep it in gear up until you're all the way to a complete stop and then put it into neutral. That would probably be a little bit better. Alright, right now I'm just chilling at some, I don't know, some parking spot. But yeah, so right now I'm gonna try to show you guys how to do it when you how to downshift in order to speed up. I guess so. Rev matching is whenever you're okay. Let's say you're driving, right, and then the RPMs. Let's say you have 4,000, right. Whenever you shift up a gear, those RPMs drop. Maybe you don't realize it, but that's what it does that. So whenever you shift up a gear, the RPMs drop, and then they drop as you shift up a gear. Now as you go down a gear, the RPMs rise. So that's why whenever you're in too high of a gear, so let's say you're like in third gear, but you're only going like 15 miles per hour, the RPM is gonna be pretty low. Which is why if you're going like 10 miles per hour, but you're in third gear, it's gonna be really hard to speed up. And let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. Third. I'm at third gear going like 10. Look, I'm flooring it. Like my foot is literally just flooring it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere because I'm in too high of a gear and the RPM is just too low. So right now I'm gonna take this U-turn. Let me show you. Let me show you one more time. So right now I'm going like maybe like 5 miles per hour. I'm gonna go up to third gear. Look, I'm literally flooring it. I'm not going anywhere because look how low the RPMs are. It's like at 1,000. So I'm not gonna go anywhere. All right, so I hopped on the freeway. I'm gonna be on the right lane, but I guess what I want you guys to focus on is I guess the RPMs. Well, I mean the car bounces a lot, but if you guys can, I'll try to focus the camera on the RPMs. That way you guys can see how fast I'm going and how the RPMs look like as I'm shifting. So let me speed up right now. So I'm in 5th gear, going like 50 miles per hour. Now, I guess right now I'm just casually cruising, but if someone was to like, let's say pull up next to me, or let's say I needed to speed up, right? What I would do is I could speed up right now. I could floor it, but you see how it's taking a while? Because my RPM's a little too low. So what I would do is I would downshift from 5th to 4th. I'm gonna put my hazards on. I don't want people to bother me. I would put my what I would do is I would go from 5th to 4th. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna bring my RPMs up and cause me to speed up faster. But before that, I have to rev match. So do you guys see how the RPMs are right now? They're like at what, 2,500 or so? Now watch this. If I were to go from 5th to 4th right now without downshifting, watch. It was kind of jerky, but the RPMs they rise up to like, let's say, I think it's like at 2,800 right now. Now if I keep going, right? If I'm speeding up, I'm speeding up, but I want to go faster, like I want to accelerate faster, I would go from fourth to third, but that's gonna shoot up my RPMs quite a bit, and I don't want to do that unless I'm rev matching. So what rev matching is you would push in the clutch, blip the throttle. You see how I blip that shit? When you blip the throttle, as you let go off the clutch, when the RPMs rise up, by the time you let go off the clutch, it's gonna be where it needs to be. So watch this. Clutch in, blip it. I'm in third gear right now. That shit was smooth as hell. And the RPMs are where it's supposed to be at, third gear. I mean, sorry, not third gear. 3,000 RPMs. Now I can really speed up. You know? And let me go from third to fourth. Casually just driving, just cruising right now. Fourth to fifth, just cruising. Now, if I want to speed up, I could speed up right now. I could floor it, but it might take a while. See how it kind of took a little bit? Now, what I could do is go to fourth gear, and that would make me speed up quite a bit. So, let me just downshift to fifth with the rev match, because I know that if I downshift right now, the RPM is going to shoot up. So, let me clutch in, blip it, fifth gear, boom. That was smooth. No, nothing was jerked. And then the RPMs rised up, and I caught it where it was supposed to be at. Right? Now I can speed up a little bit faster. You can accelerate quicker now. But if I want to keep going even faster, let me go in the middle lane. I could go to fourth gear right now. I'm sorry, yeah, I could go to fourth gear right now. So you see how the RPMs are like what, 2,500 right now? And I want to speed up. I could speed up by just flooring it, which yeah, it'll speed up. But if I want to accelerate even faster, let me go from fifth to fourth. So clutch in, blip the throttle, fourth gear, boom. Look at that, RPMs rise up even more. And if I want to go even faster, I can go from fourth to third. But you want to make sure you get really comfortable at rev matching, because if you don't, if I go from fourth to third right now without doing anything, it will shoot up the RPMs, and that's not good. You need to catch them. So you gotta blip the throttle, which means you gotta press the accelerator. You know, you gotta like gas the throttle as you have the clutch in, then you let go off the clutch. You know, and that's what blipping the throttle means. So watch this: clutch in, blip it, third. Now I can really speed up. You know, and that's what that means when someone says blip the throttle or rev match. It's whenever you push in the clutch and then you push the throttle to pick up the RPMs. So by the time you let go off the clutch, the RPMs will be where it needs to be, and then nothing gets harmed, like no damage in the car, nothing like that. Because it's not good for the car if you don't rev match, because the transmission is gonna blow. So right now I'm going, let's say I'm in sixth gear right now, and I'm going like 50 miles per hour. You know, I'm casually driving, but if I want to speed up, or if I have to like merge or something, I would want to push in the clutch, blip it, fifth, boom, cut the RPMs. Now watch the RPMs. Watch, I'm gonna go from fifth to fourth. Blip it, boom. You see how I caught the RPMs where it needs to be? That's because I'm very familiar with my car. Like, I'm super comfortable with it. So I know what RPM it's gonna be at what gear, at what speed. Because I've been driving this car for a little over a year. So I'm like really very, very comfortable with it. And really that just takes time to learn your car. The more you know your car, the better, because you'll be able to know, you know what, okay, I'm gonna be at this gear, I'm gonna be at this RPM, at this fast, going, you know, such and such. So that's why when I say to downshift, it is a little bit harder and trickier, because you need to be more familiar and comfortable with your own car. Alright, so this is gonna be the end of the video. But it's a little windy outside, so sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, it took me about a year to finally make this video. But I got a few comments, so I was like, you know what, I might as well make it. Now, I did try my best to explain the best I really could, but downshifting, it is a little confusing, if I'm gonna be honest. It's not as easy or as simple as people might think it is, because especially for the rev match, that takes some time to get used to and practice. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And honestly, like I said, the last few things I would say is when you're slowing down, you don't have to rev match. But I would say when you're slowing down, every 10 miles per hour you slow down, I would drop a gear. So like if you're going 50 miles per hour, you're in fifth gear, and you're slowing down, then you go to 40, you just go down a gear to like fourth gear, and then etc, right? Never go down to first. That's only for starting off. Now, when you want to speed up, you make sure you watch the RPMs. You need to catch the RPMs, because remember, when you go down a gear, the RPMs rise. So if you want to speed up and you have to downshift, make sure you look at the RPMs, see where they are, and then when you push in the clutch and you grip that throttle, make sure the RPMs rise up to the point where you know where they're gonna be at by the time you let go off that clutch. Which is why it's really good if you really know your car. You want to be like very, very comfortable with your car. But yeah, I mean, that's really about it. Maybe in the next video I'll show you guys how I do donuts and burnouts. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it was fun talking to you guys, and I'm gonna head out. Peace.